PMI just added a brand new question type to the PMP exam, and it's called the case or scenario question. Most candidates have no idea how these work, and that's exactly why they get tripped up. Once you understand the pattern, these are actually some of the most manageable questions on the entire exam. Let me show you how to win them. Here's the format. You get one detailed scenario, a project description, a business situation, a decision-making context, sometimes with charts or graphs attached. Then you answer a series of questions, all based on that same scenario. That's the key difference from a standard single question. Here you have one scenario, multiple questions, all connected, and all requiring you to stay grounded in the same context throughout. Before we go deeper, here's the exam structure under the July 2026 format, straight from page 17 of the PMI exam content outline. Most prep programs don't cover this, and they should. There's 185 total questions. 175 are scored, 10 are unscored pre-test items. You won't know which ones, so treat every single question like it counts. And you have 240 minutes total with 2 5-minute breaks. Now, what types of questions are actually on this exam? Because it is not just multiple choice. PMI has confirmed several question formats for the July 2026 exam. You'll see multiple choice single response questions, one correct answer, multiple response where you have more than one correct answer and you need to find all of them, graphic-based questions where you interpret a chart, a diagram, or a visual and answer based on what you see, enhanced matching and standard matching, drag and drop formats where you pair items or place them on a visual, point and click, hotspot questions where you click the correct location on an image, and pull down list questions where you select the correct answer from a drop down menu. Know what you're walking into before exam day. Now, here's the part that should change how you prepare, and almost nobody is talking about this. The exam is divided into two distinct sections, and PMI tells you exactly what's in each one on page 17 of the ECO. The first section is entirely case study questions. That means when you sit down on exam day, when your nerves are at their peak and your energy is at its highest, the very first questions you face are case and scenario questions, not multiple choice. You're going to be facing case and scenario questions right out of the gate. This is one of the brand new formats. Your first 5-minute break fires after that entire case study section is complete. Then you move into the second section, the independent questions. This is where you'll see the full range of question types, multiple choice, graphic-based, matching, hotspot, pull down. Your second break occurs approximately midway through. And here's the rule that makes all of this even more critical, directly from PMI's ECO on page 17. Once you start your break, you cannot go back. The case study section is locked. Whatever you answered in that first section, that's your answer. There's no second look, no revisiting. You are done. This is why we're doing this video. Case and scenario questions aren't just a new question type. They're the opening act of your entire exam, and they're locked in the moment you take your first break. The mistake most candidates make with case and scenario questions is treating each sub-question like it's independent. They read the scenario once, answer the first question, and by question 3 or 4, they've mentally drifted away from the scenario entirely. They're answering from habit, from their real-world experience, from general PM knowledge. All those are good instincts in the real world, but on this exam, in this context, they will cost you. The scenario is your anchor. Every answer has to be traceable back to it, not to general PM knowledge in isolation, not to what worked on your last project. Here's your three-step approach for every case or scenario question set. Step 1. Read the entire scenario before you look at a single question. You need to resist the urge to jump ahead. The scenario is your map. You need the full picture before you start navigating. Step 2. As you read, lock in three things. What role is the project manager playing? What are the stakes? Budget, timeline, sponsor expectations, or even business objectives? And what are the constraints? What's limited? What's at risk? What's explicitly called out as a challenge? Step 3, and this is where most candidates misread these questions. The scenario gives you the context, but PMI Brain gives you the answer. This is not a reading comprehension test. PMI is assessing your ability to take a real project situation and apply critical thinking, disciplined PM practice, and genuine experience to it. The scenario narrows the field. PMI Brain closes it. Let's put this into practice with a sample scenario based on PMI's published materials. Take 20 seconds, read it, and before you look at any question, consciously identify the role, the stakes, and the constraints. Here's what you should have pulled out. For the role, you have a project manager leading a product launch for a new smart home device designed to improve energy efficiencies. Here are the stakes. A $500,000 budget, 6-month timeline, target of 10% market share in year 1. Here are your constraints. Fierce competition from established brands already in the market. A cross-functional team spanning engineering, marketing, and sales, each operating with different objectives, and 2 specific named technical challenges: compatibility with existing smart home systems and user privacy and data security. Those last 2, compatibility and privacy, PMI put them in the scenario for a reason. They are going to show up in the questions. Now you're ready, grounded in the context. PMI Brain is now engaged. Here's your question. Read the options, apply the 3-step framework. Let's run the options through the framework that separates passing candidates from failing ones. And if you spent any time with 4E content, you already know these 2 characters. Real World Brain looks at option A, focus solely on marketing, and says, this is a product launch. Awareness drives adoption. Get the message out first. Real World Brain looks at option B, overemphasize technical features, and says, it's a smart home tech product. Lead with the specs. That's what buyers respond to. Now here's the thing, and this matters. Real World Brain isn't wrong. In a real project environment, marketing positioning and technical differentiation absolutely matter. Real World Brain is built from genuine experience. It's served you well, but Real World Brain hasn't been calibrated for this exam content. That's exactly what PMI Brain training does. PMI Brain doesn't go to general product launch knowledge. PMI Brain goes back to the scenario and asks one question. What did PMI explicitly put in here? Technical compatibility explicitly named as a challenge. User privacy and data security explicitly named. Consumer concern about privacy explicitly named in the marketing team's context. PMI named them for a reason. Now, PMI Brain tests the options against those data constraints. Option D, technical compatibility, directly aligns with a named explicit project challenge in the scenario. The lesson is not to memorize D. The lesson is the process. PMI Brain tests every option against what the scenario explicitly told you. Compatibility, privacy, competition, launch timeline, budget, and market share objectives. That answer holds up against the most stated constraints is your answer. That is the discipline. That is what PMI is assessing on every case and scenario question. Every case or scenario question set runs on the same pattern, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. First, what does the scenario actually state explicitly? Not what you'd expect on a typical project, not a general best practice, what PMI put on the page. Second, role, stakes, constraints, locked in before you read a single answer option. This is where most candidates rush and where most candidates lose points. Third, find the answer that is directly supported by the scenario and defensible with PMI Brain judgment. Both criteria, not one or the other. Answers can be generally true statements about project management and still be wrong on this exam. PMI wants the answer that fits this project, this context, and these stated constraints. Here's what most prep programs won't tell you about case and scenario questions. They're actually generous questions. You're not being tested on isolated recall, and you're not being asked to retrieve a definition or match a process to a knowledge area. You are given all the context you need right there on the screen. The constraints, the team structure, the objectives, the challenges. PMI put them there because they are the answer. Your job is to read carefully, stay anchored to the scenario, and let PMI Brain close it. That's the whole game. If you're sitting for the PMP exam on or after July 9th, 2026, you need a course that was built for this exam. Not an old course with a few new lessons bolted on. Not a legacy framework with a July 2026 label on the cover. The 4E PMP Accelerator was built from the ground up around the July 2026 ECO. The July 2026 domain weightings, the new question formats including case and scenario questions exactly like the ones we just worked through, and the new emphasis on scenario-based judgment, value delivery, governance, AI, sustainability, and stakeholder engagement. Not patched, not retrofitted, built from the ground up. The link is in the description. It's only $97 US for a limited time. And if you find these videos valuable, please hit the subscribe button below. There will be new content coming at you weekly. Until next time, I'm Stephen Blakeney for 4E Project Solutions, and I'll see you in the next video.